Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Warframe Wednesdays. I'm your host for the most, as always, Francois878, and in today's episode I'd like to talk to you guys about a subject matter that I've been trying to make a Warframe Wednesdays about for about 3 weeks now, and I can never quite finish it, but that is going to be on the topic of mandatory mods. And the idea of mandatory mods and why I think mandatory mods aren't as bad as what people say, and how I believe taking mandatory mods out of the game as they are now isn't going to fix the problem of mandatory mods. And I'm going to get into that all in a minute. For this video, my definition of a mandatory mod is a mod that is absolutely necessary to have on a specific weapon, which isn't a whole lot of mods, actually. That's Serration, Hornet Strike, Primed Point Blank, and Pressure Point. Basically, the flat damage increasing mods for your primary weapons, your shotguns, your secondaries, and your melee weapons. Those are the only absolutely mandatory mods that exist in this game. Yes, there are other mods that increase your damage, like Heavy Caliber, but Heavy Caliber also has the debuff with the accuracy, and Heavy Caliber isn't good on every single gun. And I don't run Heavy Caliber on a number of guns, so it's not a mandatory mod. I can just see now people trying to argue with me about Heavy Caliber. But I personally, I don't love the idea of having mods that are mandatory. I'm not a fan, but I know that taking Serration out of the game isn't going to fix the fact that we have mandatory mods. Serration is just going to be replaced with another mod. And whatever that mod happens to be, there will always be min-maxers who are going to find the best mods for the best situations. Weapon builds aren't going to magically appear out of nowhere for certain weapons that use multiple different mods just because Serration is gone. Alright, there will always be a mod that is objectively better than another mod for a specific gun. That's just how it works. So, yes, the fact that these damage increasing mods will be removed, some people think that's a good thing, but it isn't going to rid us of the problem of mandatory mods. It's just going to shift to new mandatory mods, and then it's going to move to different mods after that when DE decides to take those mods out. Here's the issue, is that unless DE finds a way to get rid of Serration, but also fix enemy scaling appropriately, taking out these damage mods are going to be the worst thing in the entire world for this game. People already complain that enemy scaling is bad, and when you take out the only mods in the game that increase your damage enough to alleviate that scaling problem a little bit, it's going to be bad news. And I mean, I've got some really rough news for you guys. I don't think DE is going to be able to do it. I love DE. They're a great developer, and I have a great amount of respect for them, but we have seen them fail in the past. And enemy scaling and taking out these huge damage buff mods is a huge... It affects the entire game at every level. And I don't think that taking Serration out is a good idea. Or Point Blank, or Primed Point Blank, or whatever. I think that's going to severely cripple the game, and unless it's fixed appropriately, it could be very bad. And I'm just worried. And so, basically, the whole point of this whole mess is basically, why are we trying to fix something that's not broken? There are so many other issues, there are so many bugs, there's so many balancing issues that don't have to do with mandatory mods. There's, you know, clipping issues and graphical issues and all kinds, just ridiculous amount of stuff. And DE has now been focusing on this mandatory mod problem for how many months, instead of diverting their resources to new content or fixing old content that isn't broken. It doesn't make any sense to me. And it doesn't make any sense to me. Because, yeah, I mean, I don't love damage mods, I don't love Serration, but Serration works functionally. And do enemies need a scaling pass and a pass to fix how scaling works? Absolutely. But I don't think that... I think that taking the damage mods out will create an environment that requires a lot more work on DE's part to perfect the scaling. So right now, I would honestly prefer them to be working on new content rather than fixing shit that's not really broken, I guess. I don't know. Let me know in the comments section if you think I'm totally fucking bonkers crazy and I have no idea what I'm talking about, and please, because I would love to hear from you guys about this. Mandatory mods, I just don't feel like are Warframe's biggest issue, and I feel like DE has been focusing on them and wasting... I'm going to be dangerous and say wasting dev time on this idea of fixing enemy scaling on top of taking out these mods. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I don't think I am. So please let me know in the comments section what you guys think about mandatory mods, what you think DE can do to fix mandatory mods. Do you think DE needs to actually fix mandatory mods? Tell me all of this stuff, please, in the comments section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on the socials. Those are all in the description as well. And I have been your host with the most, as always, Francois878, signing off.